Hi, this is Miss Craft. This is the asynchronous lesson for lesson 7 in Honors Algebra 2. You're going to learn to solve and graph linear inequalities in one variable. That will be the first video. The second video will be solving and graphing linear inequalities in 2 variables. So let's get started with some review. This is the symbol for greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal. These are things that should be familiar to you. If they're not, please ask questions. Some of the students get confused on these still, and that's okay. But if you just remember that the number that is right here, if you were going to say a number, you would say it is greater than this number, and same with less than. Graphing them on a number line. You might not have seen this since Algebra 1, and that's okay. So we're going to review it just a little bit and then also throw in something new to you that, well, it might be new to you. It's interval notation, and you'll need that for pre-calc, and in this class we use it quite a bit as well. So x is greater than 5. I don't care where you put 5 on the number line. I just put it in the middle sometimes, and then you can put 0 back here if you want. 4, 3, 2, 1. 0, but we know that x needs to be greater than 5. So you might have learned before that an open circle means it's not equal to, and a closed circle means that it is equal to, and that is the same as using brackets or parentheses. So parentheses is not equal to, and brackets is equal to. This is not equal to, so I'm going to have a parenthesis, and it's going to be going to where x can reach infinity, because we know x is anything greater than 5. So the interval notation for this is going to be 5 comma infinity. Next one, so we'll have -1. So again, just label -1 wherever you would like. We know x is greater than -1, and it actually can be equal to this time. So we have a bracket, and it goes this way, which means we will do -1 here, and it will go to infinity. The next one is 0, and so we have 0 here. We actually don't want a little dot, but we have 0 there, and t is less than 0, so we know it goes this way, and it is not equal to, so we'll have a parenthesis. Now, interval notation confuses kids when they start using it at first because it always goes least to greatest. The least number that t could be is -infinity, and infinities always have a parenthesis, and the most it could be is 0, parenthesis. So same thing with this one. We know a is going to be less than or equal to -3. Just label -3 wherever you want. And we know it's going to be less than, which is to the left, and it will be a bracket because it can be equal to, and draw it this way. That way you know when you write it, you're going to say, whoops, -infinity to -3 with a bracket. So least to greatest, always in interval notation. This one is a little bit tricky. It's essentially a whole. So it can equal anything but 4. So if I'm going to put 4 here, I know that I'm going to have 2 brackets like this, because it can't equal 4, but it can come right up to 4. It can be 3.99. So we know we want to put it with a parenthesis. And then we have the notation, which is going to be -infinity. We start least to greatest. We know it can go to -infinity and to 4, not equal to, but it's a union with 4 to infinity. And we'll do more of these as time goes on. All right. All right, so I'm going to solve this top one with you guys, and then you should pause and try the second one on your own, and then I'll reveal the answers to the second one. So let's do this one together first. You can use this just like an equal sign the way that you solve, except for when we divide by a negative, you want to flip the sign. So just remember that. Hopefully that's an Algebra 1 skill that you've retained. If you could start by subtracting 2 here and then divide by 4, but I know that when I subtract 2, it's going to be 34 over here, and 34 is not nicely divisible by 4. So let's go ahead and distribute this guy out. So we'll have 36 is greater than 2 plus 12x plus 40. That turns into 36 is greater than 42 plus 12x. And then we can subtract our 42 over here. So we'll get, ooh, my pen is messing up. Subtract 42, subtract 42. So we'll get 6 over here is greater than 12x. And then, of course, we will divide by 12 and divide by 12. We know x is less than 1/2. Or you could write it x is less than 1/2, right? So to graph this, we will put 1/2 somewhere. And then we know that x needs to be less than 1/2, and it's not equal to, so we'll do a parenthesis on 1/2, and then we'll go that way. Interval notation would be -infinity to 1/2 with a parenthesis. Okay, so let's go ahead and pause and try this second one on your own, and then I'll reveal the answers in just a second. All right, so here are the answers for this guy down here. We've distributed the -2 all the way through. Make sure you distribute the negative or you won't get the right answer. So it changes this to a -20. And then right here we had to divide by -6. And so what does that do? Well, that's going to flip our sign. And then for a number line, I know I labeled the last one on a half, but it's best to label whole numbers and then just put approximately where 13 halves would be. And then interval notation is -13 halves to infinity. All right, so for this guy, solve and graph the solution and write the solution as an inequality as an interval. So let's distribute this one out. We'll do this one together, and then this one I'll let you pause and do on your own, and I'll reveal the answer. So we've got -10 is greater than 2r plus 8 plus 6. We know that turns into 2r plus 14. When we subtract 14 to the other side, we're going to get -28. 24. I don't know where 8 came from. Is greater than 2r, and then we're dividing by a positive, so our sign stays the same, and we'll have -12 is greater than r. So again, we can just label our -12 here, and we know it's an open circle or a parenthesis, and r is, whoopsies, less than -12. So we are going to go this way. Interval notation would be -infinity to -12 with parentheses. Okay, so go ahead and pause, and then I'll be right back with you. All right, so here's the work for the second one. First we distributed, then we combined like terms. Then subtract 6. We should get down to -17/7 is less than x. So in other words, x is greater than -17/7. When we do that, it's somewhere in between -3 and -2, closer to -3. And then put your bracket here in your interval notation to infinity. Okay, so go ahead and pause that and write down any questions you might have for your teacher when you see them in synchronous class. All right, we're going to do one of these together, one of them on your own, and then we've got 2 more problems after that. So let's go ahead and try this one. We're going to treat these like equal signs, right? So we're going to, whatever we do to one side, we got to do to both of the others. And then don't forget, when you divide by a negative, you've got to flip all the signs. So first of all, I want this 5a by itself. So I'm going to subtract 7 from both the left and the right and the middle. That gives me -40 over here is less than or equal to 5a is less than 10. From there, I know I want to divide by 5, but to do that, I need to do it to all sides of the inequality. So here we get -8 is less than or equal to a is less than 2. Interval notation, well, for the number line, let's do that one first. We will have -8. I don't think these will all fit on there, but we'll have -8 here. And we know a is greater than that or equal to, so we'll put that here. We got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0, and then 1 and 2. And we know A is less than the other side with a parenthesis. And our solutions lie all in between there. Okay, so let's go ahead and pause, and then I will do the one on the right-hand side. All right, so here we are with this answer. We've got subtract 1 from all sides. The biggest piece of this one is when you divide by -2 on all of your sides, you have to flip the sign. So here we flip the sign from greater than to less than. I forgot to write the interval notation on the last one. So here's the interval notation on the last one. Here's the interval notation on this one, as well as your graph on the line. All right. Some word problems for you. Kim pays $85 a month for a membership and $20 for each session with a personal trainer. How many sessions can she have with a trainer if she wants to keep her cost below $200 a month? So we have an inequality here. Kim pays $85 plus $25 for each session. How many sessions, so that is our variable, can she have with a trainer if she wants to keep her cost, which this represents her cost, below $200 a month? So we have less than $200 a month. Okay, so we're going to solve this by subtracting 85. So we'll have 20x is less than 115. And then when we do 115 divided by 20, we get a fraction. So we get 5.75. So x will be less than 5.75. So in other words, if she has 6 sessions, she'll go over $200. So how many sessions can she have? She can do 5 sessions. Okay. You guys try the next one on your own, and then we'll come back together. All right, so here is the answer to the last question. So basically, she has 3 tests, right? And to find an average of 3 tests, you add up the 3 tests and divide by 3. We don't know one of those averages. That's what we're looking for. And we know she wants to score between a 70 and a 79. Would it be okay if she equaled 70? Yes, so it can be equal to. Would it be okay if she equaled 79? Yes, so you want to make sure you include the less than or equal to and less than or equal to. So when you solve, you multiply all sides by 3, subtract all sides by 126. And you're going to get 84 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 111. So she can score between an 84 and 111 on the test in order to get a C on as her class average for her test. Okay, so you'll need to watch the second video on solving with 2 variables, and then you will be done for your async time.